The nation's biggest nuclear cleanup site, emergency shelter, and new alarm about safety. Where are the women? Backlash as an all-male group forms to work on health care in the Senate. Airport melee, chaos in the terminal, and another PR nightmare for a big U.S. airline. Measles outbreak, the worst in years. A state facing a public health crisis blamed on false information that scared parents into not getting their children vaccinated. And the brave young Gator girl who fought back when teeth clamped down on her leg. How she got them to let go. Nightly News begins right now.
NBC News World Headquarters in New York. This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. We begin with stunning late-breaking news. President Trump has fired James Comey as director of the FBI. It comes without warning and is sending shockwaves across Washington this evening. The president dismissing the man who was leading the investigation into his campaign. Comey, an Obama appointee, was less than 4 years into a 10-year term, but he became a political lightning rod over the last year between investigations into Hillary Clinton and into possible collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government. We get late details now from our chief White House correspondent, Hallie Jackson.
Tonight, a stunning development that seemed to come with little warning. The president abruptly firing James Comey, writing to him, "You are not able to effectively lead the Bureau. It is essential that we find new leadership for the FBI that restores public trust and confidence in its vital law enforcement mission." A letter from the Department of Justice explains why this happened, with the Deputy Attorney General writing, "I cannot defend the director's handling of the conclusion of the investigation of Secretary Clinton's emails, and I do not understand his refusal to accept the nearly universal judgment that he was mistaken," citing, as one example, his high-profile press conference in July. Just today, Press Secretary Sean Spicer seemed to dodge when asked if the president still had confidence in his FBI director.
Does the president still have confidence, full confidence in FBI Director James Comey?
I have no reason to believe. I haven't asked him, so I have not asked the president since the last time we spoke about this.
Then candidate Trump had praised Comey on the campaign trail before this memorable moment earlier this year.
He's become more famous than me.
But the sudden dismissal caught some by surprise. 3 senior FBI and justice officials, including some that personally know Comey, tell NBC News there was no advance warning or knowledge of the firing. And tonight, new reaction now from some of Hillary Clinton's former advisors, one of her former top aides telling NBC News tonight of mixed feelings, adding she's suspicious, this aide, of Comey's firing, given the timing, right in the middle of that investigation into Russian interference into the election. President Trump, perhaps hoping to head off just that kind of criticism, also wrote to Comey today, quote, "While I greatly appreciate you informing me on 3 separate occasions that I am not under investigation," he says he agrees with the Department of Justice that Comey should no longer lead the FBI. The search for a new director now on, Lester.
Hallie Jackson at the White House starting us off. Let's get right to NBC Justice correspondent Pete Williams with more details on Comey's firing. Pete, the fact that the president himself was not under investigation, there was a legal distinction in that it was his campaign under investigation. But what's the net effect at the Bureau right now?
Well, they're shocked by this. They did not see it coming. We don't know how much notice Mr. Comey himself got. When we found out about this evening, Lester, we called. The FBI director was not there. They didn't say where he was, but people in the FBI were completely blindsided this. Only one other FBI director has ever been fired by a president. That was William Sessions in 1993, but not so much over his judgment on investigations that had to do with the way he was spending some of the Bureau's money on what was perceived to be personal projects. But this was all justified, according to the Deputy Attorney General, because of the way the FBI director handled the email investigation, the news conference supplanting the Justice Department, the letter to Congress, the false choice the Deputy Attorney General says over going public or keeping quiet. All those things led to the firing. And Rod Rosenstein, the brand new Deputy Attorney General, who has a bipartisan background, cites the fact that over 100 former Justice Department officials had been very critical of Comey at the time. He cites that in his letter tonight as reasons justifying the firing, although very few of those people at the time said Comey ought to be fired, Lester.
And what about investigations that began under Comey, specifically the Russian investigation?
Well, that'll clearly go on. It's interesting tonight that there's been bipartisan support for this move by the president. Both the Republican Charles Grassley and the ranking Democrat on Judiciary Dianne Feinstein say they support the move, but you can expect more calls for a special counsel.
All right, let's turn to Chuck Todd now, our political director and moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, there are legal distinctions, then there are optics. How do the optics look here?
The optics look terrible for the White House. But look, the fact is that Director Comey had lost confidence with members of both sides of the aisle in the United States Senate. As early as 20 minutes before the announcement was, before the firing was announced, Lester, I spoke with Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal on the Judiciary Committee, a Democrat from Connecticut. I asked him if he still had confidence in Director Comey. He would not say he did. Instead, he said he had confidence in the FBI. But the timing and the optics of it, why didn't President Trump fire him sooner? That's going to be something Democrats say. You should have done it at the beginning. If this was the cause, if essentially the handling of the Clinton investigation was the cause of the firing, that the timing now looks like it is connected to Russia no matter what the president says. And this is where it's going to become a political hot potato. I can tell you this, Lester, the confirmation hearing for the next FBI director is going to be all about Russia. And watch for this. The increased calls for a special prosecutor or independent investigative committee, some way to essentially depoliticize this Russia investigation, get it out of the Justice Department, get it out of the FBI in some form or another, because right now I think there's going to be a lot of distrust at the FBI, no matter the conclusion that's made, and perhaps the only way to get credibility back on this investigation is to do it with an independent committee.
Chuck Todd on tonight's Breaking News. Chuck, thank you. Now to the battle over health care in the Senate, with women's health issues front and center of the debate. Senate Republicans are under fire for not putting any women on the GOP team selected to hammer out their plan to replace Obamacare. We get details from NBC News White House correspondent Kristen Welker.
Tonight, a growing backlash on Capitol Hill as the Senate group tasked with health care reform met for a second time. At issue, all of the 13 members on the core group are men. None of the 5 women Republican senators were asked to join. Democrats pouncing, arguing many of health care's thorny issues uniquely impact women.
We know it makes a difference when women are in the room.
All that putting Republicans on defense. Senate leaders trying to downplay the very existence of a core working group.
Given all of the backlash that you're getting, why not add some of your female colleagues to your healthcare working group?
Well, the working group that counts is all 52 of us, and we're having extensive meetings.
But there aren't any women on the
You need to
core
write
group.
about what's actually happening, and we're having a discussion about the real issues. Everybody's at the table, everybody.
Republicans also pointing to the fact West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito attended the meeting today.
They invited me to come to talk about medicine.
Senator, should there be at least one woman? Capito dodging that question, but her colleague, Maine Senator Susan Collins, weighed in.
Were you disappointed when you learned there were no women on the core working group?
I was surprised that there were not.
The latest criticism coming against the backdrop of protests today at an event for House Speaker Paul Ryan and at town halls where constituents are blasting House members for their vote. A prescription for controversy as healthcare reform moves forward. Kristen Welker, NBC News, Washington.
And I'll be sitting down with President Trump on Thursday at the White House. Obviously, a lot to talk about. We hope you'll tune in for that Thursday evening on NBC Nightly News. The chilling sound of alarms blaring at the most contaminated nuclear site in this hemisphere sent workers scrambling for cover in Washington state today. The alarm at the Hanford Nuclear Reservation was triggered when a tunnel housing toxic materials partially gave way. There was no release of radiation. Still, it was a jarring reminder of the existence of lethal sites like it across America. Gotti Schwartz has details.
The sound of sirens at the nation's most contaminated nuclear waste site.
Gotta take cover.
Then the warning that went out across the Hanford Nuclear Reservation.
Take cover immediately.
The alarm from a partial tunnel collapse in an area where trains holding toxic waste have been stored for decades. Hundreds of workers took shelter across the vast complex, half the size of Rhode Island. The site once supplied the bulk of plutonium for America's nuclear arsenal.
We've been all cooped up in inside of these buildings, till they gave us the go-ahead to clear out and go home.
Officials sending in a robot to inspect the collapse.
All employees are safe.
There's been no evidence of a radiological release.
But the emergency highlighting the deteriorating conditions at the nation's biggest environmental cleanup near the Columbia River. An NBC News investigation found decades of radioactive problems. Workers who said they had been exposed to toxic materials suffering from severe health problems.
I've been diagnosed with some pretty bad nerve damage.
In 2013, Washington's governor announcing that several tanks holding radioactive waste on the site were leaking. It's estimated that it could take over 40 years and over $100 billion for a full cleanup. Hanford, one of 17 radioactive cleanup sites around the country. Today, the governor saying it's a serious situation and they are taking every precaution to protect workers and the public. But the tunnel collapse, yet another alarm, warning that a nuclear disaster at the Hanford site is a constant possibility. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News.
Tonight, low-cost airline Spirit Airlines is the latest airline trying to clean up a public relations nightmare caught on video. What started as a labor dispute with its pilots union has led to hundreds of flight cancellations, then a fight and people arrested last night at a Spirit ticket counter in Florida. Now a judge has intervened as the airline is forced to cancel even more flights. Here's NBC's Tom Costello.
Frustrations at a boiling point inside the Fort Lauderdale airport late Monday after Spirit Airlines canceled dozens of flights, leaving hundreds of passengers stranded.
Terrible. This is terrible. I don't ever want to ride Spirit again.
Deputies arrested 3 passengers for allegedly threatening airline employees and resisting arrest. But anger at Spirit has been building for days. More than 300 flights canceled, more than 20,000 passengers affected. Spirit blames a small number of pilots in a lawsuit accusing the union of an illegal slowdown in order to bring pressure during contract negotiations.
From the beginning of this unlawful action, we've seen about 60 flights per day on average that had to be canceled across our network.
Today, a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order barring any strike, work stoppage, sick-out, or slowdown. In a statement, the union said the court has spoken and Spirit pilots will comply fully. It is completely in line with the overriding goal, the resumption of normal operations. But Spirit pilots also want more money.
The airline says, look, we don't get the kinds of airfares that American, Delta, United get, so we can't pay our pilots what they pay. But the union says, well, you're just as profitable as they are, so why not?
Meanwhile, the 3 suspects arrested last night are now out on bail.
Don't ever use Spirit Airlines. I was upset, and they tried to say I started a riot for being upset.
Spirit today canceled more than 3 dozen flights. It expects fewer cancellations tomorrow as this deep discount carrier struggles with big league labor issues. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
An Amtrak engineer involved in a deadly train derailment will not face criminal charges. Prosecutors say there's not enough evidence that Brandon Bastian acted with criminal intent or recklessness when the train he operated jumped the tracks in Philadelphia nearly 2 years ago. 8 people were killed, more than 200 injured. Federal investigators say the train was speeding at twice the limit at the time. Tonight, South Korea has elected a new president, a liberal candidate emerging victorious after months of turmoil, the ex-president forced out by scandal. The change has ramifications for the U.S. because the new man in charge, Moon Jae-in, favors closer ties with North Korea and questions the hardline approach, including sanctions. The softer approach could put him at odds with the Trump administration. Still ahead tonight, measles come back. What and who health officials are blaming for one state's worst outbreak in nearly 30 years. And an alligator goes on the attack, but it messed with the wrong 10-year-old girl. The trick she used that may have saved her life.
Type 2 diabetes? Listen up. We're not professional athletes, but that doesn't mean we're giving up.
I'm in this for me.
For me. Along with diet and exercise, Farxiga helps lower blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, lowering A1C by up to 1.2 points.
Do not take if allergic to Farxiga. If you experience symptoms of a serious allergic reaction, such as rash, swelling, difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking and seek medical help right away. Do not take Farxiga if you have severe kidney problems, are on dialysis, or have bladder cancer. Tell your doctor right away if you have blood or red color in your urine, or pain while you urinate. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast infections in women and men, serious urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, and kidney problems. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have signs of ketoacidosis, which is serious and may lead to death.
I'm in this for my family.
I'm in this for me.
Ask your doctor about Farxiga and learn how you can get it for free.